Hello, my dear friends. So, welcome back. Welcome to your channel, Cooking Astrology. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for subscribing my channel and liking my videos. Thanks a lot. Today in this video, let's try to understand planet Jupiter placement in the 8th house of your Vedic astrological birth chart. What will happen when planet Jupiter comes and sits in your 8th house? Also, I'm going to cover up the special aspects of Jupiter. Because Jupiter is going to aspect 5 places away, 7 places away and 9 places away. So, what is the overall impact of this placements? Let's try to understand. See, on one hand, if I talk about regarding planet Jupiter in Vedic astrology, it is one of the most important planet because Jupiter is a karka or significator of expansion and growth in your life. So, in whichever area or in whichever house Jupiter is posited, it is going to expand the significance related to that areas of your life. Also, especially if you are a woman, then it signifies the kind of husband which you are going to get in your life because it is a Suhag Karka. In Jyotish, we call it as the significator of the husband as well. The kind of marital bliss, happiness from your in-laws, childbirth, all such kind of auspicious things, they are connected with planet Jupiter. Also, Jupiter signifies the wisdom and knowledge which is present inside you because it is a karka of adhyatmic knowledge, spirituality, gyan, any kind of optimism or positivity which is present inside you. So that is the pure significance of Jupiter as well. Also, Jupiter, it is a karka of all the living organisms, Jeev Karka planet. All the living creatures, plants, animals, all the birds, fishes, so they all are connected and governed under this planet. So it is quite a very important planet. All the medical astrology, medical sciences, biotechnological sector, money, wealth, finance, all such areas are governed by this planet. And on the other hand, if I talk about regarding the 8th house in Vedic astrology, 8th house, it is the very hidden house of your Vedic astrological birth chart. Because 8th house, it is the house of secrets as well. It is the house of research oriented people. Any kind of a research which you are going to conduct, that thing is seen from the 8th house. Even suppose you are going to experience some kind of a major transformations in your life. Maybe any kind of a positive transformations or the negative transformations, or any kind of a life-changing event, life-transforming events. These things are connected with your 8th house. Because 8th house energy, it is the very sudden and very quick energy. Whenever you are receiving anything drastically in your life or any drastic changes in your life. So it means the 8th house is supporting you fully. Also, it is very uncomfortable kind of a house. All your fears, worries and anxieties, unnecessary pains and sufferings, these things are also connected with the 8th house. Even all the astrologers, they are also seen from the 8th house because it is a science which is hidden. It is a deep science. All the occult fields like Tantra, spirituality, Kundalini awakening, all such principles are governed under 8th house. So first of all, whenever Jupiter comes in the 8th house, here Jupiter has the full optimism and the positivity to understand the better aspect of the 8th house. And Jupiter has the ability, greater ability to understand or to handle the areas which are controlled by your 8th house. The number one aspect with this Jupiter is the person, your life, it is going to be full of very drastic changes in your life. And that is from where you are going to acquire a lot of wisdom in your life. The wisdom and growth of your life, it is deeply connected with your 8th house. Because here Jupiter is giving you all such kind of a knowledge as well. Apart from this Jupiter in the 8th house, these individuals find very deep inclination towards the financial world as well. Any kind of a gambling, stock market, share market, mutual fund managers, money management, or any kind of a managing very huge asset amount. So all these things are governed by Jupiter placement in the 8th house. All the mutual fund industries, asset management companies, all such kind of a things, they are connected with Jupiter placement in the 8th house. Because only Jupiter has the wisdom to deeply research into the loopholes of the money as well. Any kind of a loopholes that are present in the financial system. So here Jupiter is having better understanding towards that aspect as well. Apart from this, here Jupiter is very good into taking you into the field of astrology as well. If you want to become astrologer, wait until your Jupiter Mahadasha is going to start. Because if Jupiter is posited in your 8th house and if you encountered this Jupiter Dasha, it means your life is going to transform completely. because before Jupiter it is the dasha of Rahu, and after Jupiter it is Saturn. So the in between period of the Jupiter, it is going to be the period of transformations, and this is the kind of transformations which is going to change the perspective of your mind, your individual thinking, your philosophy towards life. It is going to change completely as soon as you hit into this Jupiter dasha. Also, if you are a woman, if your Jupiter is posited in the 8th house, if it is exalted in its own sign or very well dignified, then it is going to give you lot of financial gains after marriage as well. No matter from where that kind of a money and gains are going to come in your life, but Jupiter is the pure blessings. So it is going to bring that kind of a auspiciousness or that kind of a money, monetary gains in your life as well. Apart from this, the relationship with the in-laws, that is bit going to be a very egoistic kind of a relation, because 8th house, it is the house of your in-laws as well. So Jupiter original sign is the sign of Sagittarius. So that is the fiery element or the fire tattva, and fire rules over the ego and anger as well. So here lot of anger related issues, ego related issues with your in-laws, that things are purely governed by this Jupiter. Even if it is exalted, I will tell you, it is having that kind of a malefic aspect present inside this planet. Apart from this, regarding the sustenance part of the marriage, because 8th house, it is the house of the longevity as well, and the sustenance of the marriage is also seen from 8th house. So if this Jupiter is debilitated in your chart in the sign of Capricorn, let me tell you, this is going to be a very critical placement in your overall life, because with this kind of a Jupiter placements, if it is debilitated or it is in the inimical sign, especially if it is posited in the sign of Saturn, then you are going to take your mind towards the extreme negative ends. Then you are not going to receive the positive support of Jupiter in your life, because as soon as you are going to deeply research into something, Jupiter is going to take you into more deeper kind of a circumstances, and with the passage of time, it may lead you to some kind of a depression and anxiety, mental worries, and all such kind of issues as well. So it is very, very important to check the dignity of the Jupiter. If it is exalted, debilitated, inimical sign or friendly sign, you must have to check this placement, because debilitated placement in the 8th house, it is not considered for your age as well as your age or the longevity. Sustenance part is concerned, 8th house plays a vital role in your life, because it is the house which is going to protect you always. Apart from this, please look into your Lagna Lord as well. That is your Ascendant Lord. If the Ascendant Lord, it is familiar or it is friendly to the 8th house Jupiter, then the dasha of Jupiter is going to be very beneficial. But if Jupiter is non-friendly to your Ascendant Lord, then the dasha is going to be very, very, very critical, because with its 5th aspect, Jupiter is directly aspecting your 12th house as well. And 12th house, it is the house of your imagination and losses as well. So as soon as Jupiter is aspecting the 12th house, it is going to amplify the level of expenses in your life as well. And that is where the peace of mind is not going to be maintained fully, because here Jupiter have the ability or the understanding towards the financial perspective. But when it comes to the saving part, Jupiter is no longer going to support you in that perspective, because it is directly aspecting your 2nd house of the wealth and savings as well. So whenever both the houses are involved, 2nd house and the 12th house of expenses, it is a good combination for the investment part. Like if you want to do the investment right now and wait until 5 to 10 years, then this is going to give you better amount of returns. But if you are looking for the savings, like I will create any kind of a fixed deposit into the bank account, please never ever do this thing, because Jupiter is having the energy of the 8th house, which is directly aspecting your 2nd house. So there is lot of fluctuations of wealth, that thing is purely seen. Suppose one time you are prospering in your life, earning a very good amount of money. In other time, Jupiter may lead you towards the bankruptcy as well, because this is the huge planet, it is a big planet, and it is a karka of expansion and growth. So it is going to expand the significance of the 8th house as well. If you are going to receive the ups and downs, that is going to be more and more ups and downs. So that is why you have to be very careful with the savings aspect as well. Although Jupiter in the long term, it is very good, but in the short term for the wealth creation, you have to be very careful with the speculative gains as well. Because I will tell you, this Jupiter is definitely going to take you into field of a speculation, share market and stock market. I have seen like lot of charts with this Jupiter, they are having the strong inclination towards the share market. So you have to be very, very, very careful before investing any kind of a money over there. Apart from this, with its ninth aspect, Jupiter is aspecting your fourth house. And fourth house, it is the house of your homeland as well. So here with its fourth aspect, with its ninth aspect on the fourth house, it is going to create a lot of ups and downs in your family environment as well. And that is why in the initial on stages, this Jupiter has the ability to take you away from your homeland in order to find that kind of a growth or satisfaction. And that thing is going to be in your favor. Initially, you might regret this thing, like I'm coming outside of my home environment, going somewhere, because this can lead to abroad and foreign settlements as well. Whenever any planet from the 8th house aspecting your especially 4th house, this is the combination of sudden foreign traveling as well. You may permanently settle into foreign lands as well. Initially, you might think why this thing is happening with me, but in the longer duration, this thing is also going to be in your favor. Because if Mars is also supporting this Jupiter, then you can make very good amount of career in the real estate markets as well. Buying and selling of the properties or any kind of a rental income, that thing is also going to be very auspicious. Because 8th house, it is the hidden sthan, it is the hidden house, and it is a kark of wealth as well. So some hidden portion of the wealth is also connected in your life. Like not every individual is going to know your net worth by just looking into your physical appearance. Like, because this is the very simple and very sweet kind of a Jupiter. Here Jupiter don't want to show off the wealth, but because this is the Jupiter who is having full gyan, optimism, knowledge, pure wisdom. But Jupiter don't want to show off these qualities in front of other individuals. That is why please don't underestimate these individuals. If you pick any chart having Jupiter in the 8th house, I will tell you that person is going to be very wise person. Because with this Jupiter, the experience is going to matter a lot. As soon as you get mature in your life, this Jupiter has the ability to give you better understandings as well. How to handle the things related to 8th house as well. Because it is a very auspicious placement. Understand this thing. Not every planet is comfortable in the 8th house. But if you put Guru into the 8th house, still this placement has the some auspiciousness. Because Jupiter is the pure blessings. It is the protection in your life. So it is going to give its 100% to protect you from all the negative situations that are going to occur in your life. So that is the pure blessings. But if it is debilitated, then it is some kind of we call it as especially the Shapit dosha as well. It is the curse of the ancestors or your forefathers as well, if it is debilitated. For that, we might need to check the placement of your 12th house lord as well for understanding the better perspective. But I will tell you, if it is not well dignified, what is going to happen in your life? Suppose you are moving towards achieving something, some goal or desire in your life. As soon as you reach very close to your goal, like 99%, you will fall back. Like you will not be able to get the desired result. And this thing is going to happen again and again. You are preparing for some competitive exam. You appeared for the exam. Again and again, at the 99%, you get stuck off. Because this is the loss of bhagya. Understand one more thing. From the 9th house of the fortune, that is the original house, it is going 12 places away. So the loss of fortune is also connected with this Jupiter. So bhagya is not going to support you. Your luck is not going to support you. So in that way, you have to understand the complete picture of this Jupiter. So I hope you like the analysis of Jupiter placement in the 8th house. If you have any queries regarding your Jupiter placement, or if you want to ask me any other questions regarding your marriage, career, childbirth, business consultation, spiritual consultation, do let me know, guys. I will respond you back within 48 hours after receiving your email. So till then, please subscribe my channel below and make sure to hit the like button if you really enjoyed this video. And please follow me on Instagram as well, where I post a lot of stuff related to astrology. So till then, please take care of yourself. I will meet you very, very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.